Good day, everyone. So, as from the previous reporters, they are able to discuss with you the about the developing, administering, and scoring on written tests. So this time, let me discuss to you the what is the alternate choice item and the variations of it. So by the way, I am Shaira May Katubix, and I have here four brief description about what exactly is the alternate choice items. So from the word itself, alternate, it only present two opposing options, whether if it is true or false, agree or disagree, correct or incorrect, and anything else nga nagrepresent ra siya og two opposing options. And then it is ambiguous items, yes, because it does not clearly show or measure the student's knowledge about the course itself, because students just can easily blindly guess the correct answer to half the items, because knowing that there are only two options, they just can easily guess ra jud. So mga students na wala gikay without no knowledge about this course, they can just easily get their answers correctly. So it also measures trivia. Yes, it is, because it really requires for the test maker to construct or constructed or procedural knowledge, such as concepts and rules. And alternate choice item format can be variety of creative ways. Yes, not just because it only requires two opposing options. That's not mean nga mao na lang jud na siya. So the scholars are able to create variety of ways how to measure the student's knowledge using the alternate choice items. So let me present to you the variation of alternate choice items. So I have here 7 types of variation about on the alternate choice item. We have here the traditional true or false items, true or false requiring corrections, embedded alternate choice items, and the multiple true or false items, sequential true or false items, and the focused alternate choice items, and the last one is checklist. So we will discuss it one by one, and I am also able to provide a sample answer sheet for each of the variation. So let's start on the traditional true or false items. Traditional true or false items is only a single stated sentence. So students are asked to indicate whether the statement is true or false. So, example, write true if the statement is correct and false if not. Item number 1 says here that there are 7 planets in our solar system. So it is true because we only have 7 planets. Number 2, Jupiter is a dwarf planet. So do you think Jupiter is a dwarf planet? So the answer is false. Number 3, the sun is the only star in our solar system. Then it is true. So it is just like the common true or false items. Mo ni ang kasagaran gigamit sa itong mga teachers way back when in our elementary days, since this is the easiest or the most convenient type of test as commonly known. So it is self-explanatory. So let's move on to the second one, the true or false requiring corrections. So students are still asked to indicate whether if it is true or false, but This time, it requires the student to identify, well, what is the correct answer. But so I have here the sample answer sheet. I am still using the same questionnaires. So the direction or the instruction says here that write if the statement is true, and if it is false, encircle the word that makes the sentence incorrect. So number one, there are 7 planets in our solar system. It is answered true. So number 2, Jupiter is a dwarf planet. So Jupiter is not a dwarf planet. So it is false. So what makes this sentence incorrect? What do you think the word is that makes this sentence incorrect? If you're thinking about the word dwarf, then you are correct. So number 3, the sun is the only star in our solar system. Yes, it is true. Number 4, the Saturn have 79 existing satellites. So it is answered false. Then what do you think the word that makes this sentence incorrect? Yes, it is 79, because as I have further research, Saturn daw kay, I think it's 82 existing satellites they have. Number 5, Earth is the smallest planet. So it is false. So what do you think is the word that that makes this sentence incorrect? Yes, it is the smallest. So there is it is this variation, kani kay nagsukod na jud ni siya sa kanang sa knowledge sa student, kay this time they ask the student to rewrite or identify what is the correct answer. Not just they are going to pick whether if it's true or it is false. So mao na sad ni na experience na sad nato ni way back, when we got junior high. I think mga grade 7 naka-encounter na taani. Naka-encounter sa taani mga grade 6, but mostly katurad yung traditional, no, kay mo pa man to ang pinakasayon. So moving forward, we have here the third variation. Third, the embedded alternate choice items. So it is a series of alternate choice items that can be embedded in a paragraph. So example, indicate whether the underlined words make the sentence systematically correct according to the paradigm of the solar system. For each item, mark your answer sheet as follows. So we have still here 2 opposing options, letter A for correct and letter B for incorrect. And this time the students here are to analyze the provided paragraph, whether if it is correct or incorrect. And as you can see here, we have the underlined words that serve as the students items to be answered. So example, let's go on for the first sentence. The sun is positioned at the center of the solar system, along with the 7 planets orbiting around it. So the 7 planets is the underlined word. So do you think it is correct or incorrect? So do you think the underlined word makes this sentence correct or incorrect? So 7 planets is correct. So number 1 says as letter A. So sentence 2 is Mercury is the first and the closest planet in the sun. So the underlined word is Mercury. It is correct or incorrect? So it is letter A, correct. So sentence number 3 says here that Mars is the second planet next to Mercury. So the underlined word is second. So do you think it is correct or incorrect? So absolutely it is incorrect, because Mars is the fourth planet next to our Earth. So it just go on for the remaining sentences. Students are able to kanang identify the underlined word that which states if it is correct or incorrect, and this variation, the students is required to provide their own answer sheet for this. It is based on the underlined words nga ilahang serve to be as the item. So let's move on to the multiple true or false items. So it is a conventional multiple choice item, consists of a stem and a list of options. Usually one of the options is correct and the others are served to be instructors. So example, read each option and indicate which is correct. Planet Venus is known to be the twin planet of the Earth. In comparison of it, which indicates the difference between the two. So we have here four succeeding options: diameter, atmospheric layer, glow appearance, or dwarf planet. So the question here says here nga indicate the difference between the two. So pangitaon nato diri either aning upat kung asa ang nag-state sa difference between the Venus and the Earth. So number 1, he says here nga diameter. They Venus and Earth doesn't have the same kanang diameter. They don't have the exact same measure about the diameter, but they are not far different from each other. So kung arisag ka sa kanang dwarf planet, we all know that the Venus and the Earth is commonly known as one of the dwarf planets. So the correct options here is the atmospheric layer, because ang Venus is, when it comes to atmospheric layer, it has a thicker atmospheric layer than the Earth, and that also explains the difference of the glow appearance between the two, because knowing na ang atmospheric layer sa Venus is much thicker, ang radiation sa sun is maoy nakatrap sa Venus. That makes the Venus the brightest planet among the rest of the planets, and mao nang gi-call siya as the morning star and the evening star, okay, because of the sun radiation nga natrap sa Venus because of the atmospheric layer. So correct options is 2 and 3. So let's move on to the another variation, which is the sequential true or false items. It can be presented in sequence with correct response to each item, dependent on conditions specified in the previous item. So example, Linda wants to learn more about heavenly bodies. Evaluate the following steps which Linda should take in order to assess the concepts of the solar system. So we still have here two opposing options, which is letter A. This step is effective for Linda's learning development, and letter B. this step is ambiguously effective for Linda's learning development. I have here provided 5 sentences which um, be evaluated if whether it is A, an effective plan for Linda's learning development, or letter B, ambiguously effective for Linda's learning development. So, sentence number 1 says here that Linda must prefer first the basic works and functions of the solar system. So, do you think this is a good idea for Linda's step 1 in her learning process about the solar system or the heavenly bodies? So, absolutely, it is effective. So, letter number 1 is letter A. Sentence number 2 says here that Linda should take time skimming on the latest news on NASA about terrestrial creatures on space. So, do you think this is a good idea for Linda's step 2? So, absolutely, this is not a good idea kay knowing ang knowledge pa ni Linda is about pa sa mga basic functions and works sa solar system. So, imo day siyang i-prefer dayon sa mga terrestrial thingies or mga alien stuffs, knowing nga iyahang knowledge pa kay is about the planets, the stars. So definitely not. So number 2 is letter B. This step is ambiguously effective for Linda's learning development. So sentence 3 says here that Linda should then research more information about certain planets. So is this effective or not effective? So it is effective, letter A, for Linda's step 2. So sentence 4 says here that Linda should have prior knowledge in which she have studied the details of heavenly bodies and what she's curious about in relation to the works of science. So do you think this is a good idea for Linda's learning process as her step 3? So absolutely it is, because knowing si Linda na siya anang knowledge about the basic works and functions of the solar system, and then si Linda pod kay nag-research na siya og more informations about the certain planets. Now this time Linda is able to study on about the details of the heavenly bodies or what she curious about in relation to the works of science. So number 4 is letter A. Sentence number 5 says here that Linda must differentiate the climate changes. So absolutely, sentence number 5 is not related to heavenly bodies or the works of the solar system. So inanaon na siya pag answers i-identify ra nimo tag sa whether if it is A or letter B. But sequential true or false items also can be used in mathematics, which follows kanang sequence form of events, like kanang problem solving, di ba? Kung mag problem solving ka kay najud kay mga formula to follow, kung unsay imong unang buhaton, unsay sunod aning buhaton para makaget in ka sa correct answer. So this is the use of sequential true or false items. It is dependent on conditions specified in the previous item. So najud siya sequence form of events. So let's move on to the another variation, which is the focused alternate choice item. So it is a conventional true or false item, requires a student to classify a proposition as true or false. Notice that this is not simply a two-option multiple choice item. Within alternate choice item, the two responses must have opposite reciprocal meanings. So I have here also the sample question. So number one, the Earth spins around its axis. So letter A, clockwise, or letter B, counterclockwise. So if your answer is letter B, counterclockwise, then that is correct because ang ang Earth kay tuyok siya pa counterclockwise. And kay kung when you say clockwise, as I have researched na ang Venus mao na siya yung mo spin around its axis into clockwise form. So still the two choice items here have the opposite reciprocal meanings. Kay kung moingon ka counterclockwise, correct, this is the how the Earth spins around its axis. But when you say clockwise, ang Venus is how it behaves on spinning around its axis. So they still have the opposite reciprocal meanings. So that is the characterizations of the focus alternate choice item. So moving on to the checklist. This is very common in nga atoan na dyan na nagian. So it is consist of series of items. The student must read each statements and indicate whether the quality described in the statement is present or absent. So I have here Blurman sample answer sheet. This is about the sample safety inspection checklist. So mora nino na siya list of items, and then naray pilianan ang mga kanang applicants whether if it is yes or no. So ang checklist is pwede sa ni siya yes commonly gamiton jud sa mga naay inspections or whether kanang mga inventory, just like that, or pwede sa kanang research data gathering sa research paper. And sa survey, pwede sa ni siya gamiton sa survey. So the respondents will just check whether if it is yes or no. So they're just gonna check the items individually if what is their answer to the two options here. So I hope you all understand my discussion. If you have any questions, clarifications, please do leave a comment on the stream I will be that I have posted. So thank you. God bless. Thanks for listening.